Welcome to the Best Practices series, where we provide quick, actionable tips to help you maximize your testing efficiency with Qase. In this video, we'll look at why test case reviews are crucial for project's quality and learn how your team can utilize the review feature in Qase for accuracy and effectiveness of your test cases. Test cases are written with the intent to detect the defects, and if test cases aren't thoroughly reviewed, defects can creep into production and impact the software's quality. Fixing defects early on with reviews makes the software better and stops problems before they happen. It also saves money by avoiding the extra work on bug fixes later on. During the review process, many errors are corrected not only in the test cases, but also in the requirements in software's code, which in turn affects software's quality and project costs. Reviews encourage the team to write detailed, mistake-free test cases, enhancing overall documentation quality. They also contribute to a cultural change and bring a proactive approach to quality assurance by promoting collaboration, knowledge sharing, and continuous learning. Now that we understand why reviews are important, let's quickly take a look at the different types of reviews. Reviews can be categorized into three types. The first is where testers review their own test cases by looking at the software requirements specification, SRS, or the functional requirement document, FRD. This is to ensure if all the requirements are met. Second, a peer review is done by other testers who have not created the test cases and are not much familiar with the application under test. It is also called the maker and checker review. Lastly, a supervisory review is done by a test lead or a test manager who is higher in rank than the tester who has created the test cases and has broad knowledge of the requirements and the application under test. Now that we have seen why reviews are important and the different kinds of reviews, let's explore some best practices. A tester has to verify that the expected results documented in each test case align with the specified requirements, catching any discrepancies or inaccuracies. For example, if a test case expects an error message in response to a specific action, a reviewer must confirm that this aligns with the requirements stating how the system should handle such scenarios. Ensuring test coverage involves testing all features and functionalities of a software application. For instance, if you're testing an e-commerce website, comprehensive coverage would mean testing all aspects, such as user registration, product search, shopping cart functionality, payment processing, and order confirmation. Speaking of completeness, a test suite, for instance, is considered complete only when it covers all the identified testing scenarios. For example, in an online banking application, completeness would mean testing various transaction types, including deposits, withdrawals, fund transfers, and bill payments, to ensure the entire range of financial activities is validated. Clear and concise test cases are crucial for effective testing. For example, when you're testing for a status update posting functionality of, say, a social media site, a clear test case should outline key details like character limits, media attachments, privacy settings, etc. Clarity ensures that the testers understand and execute these test cases accurately. Always ensure that the language used is simple, easy to understand, and free from any spelling or grammatical mistakes. Consistency in the review process should ensure that all test cases adhere to the established testing standards and guidelines within the team or the organization. This includes consistent formatting, terminology, and documentation practices. The goal here is to facilitate better understanding and maintenance. For instance, if one test case refers to a user as a customer, while the other uses the word client, a reviewer should always go with the standardized term. Let's explore how you can set up your project settings to enable self-review for a case. First, navigate to your repository and click on the Settings icon. Within the settings, switch to the Repository tab and activate the Reviews option. Additionally, toggle the Allow Self-Merge option to enable authors to merge changes to the test case. Once these settings are adjusted, click on the Update Settings button to save your changes. Now, proceed to either draft a new test case or make modifications to an existing one. To initiate the review process, select the option to send it for review. You will then be directed to the test review page. Here, examine the test case and review all modifications made. You can also compare it against your requirement document to ensure everything aligns correctly. Once you're satisfied, you have the option to post a comment if desired and then proceed to merge the changes. To configure your project settings for conducting a peer review, follow these steps. First, navigate to the project settings. From the Repository tab, ensure the review feature is enabled. Optionally, you can enable self-merge. In the Approvals Required section, specify a number greater than 0. For instance, setting it to 3 means that at least 3 users' approval is necessary before merging changes. During a peer review, team members may identify gaps in test coverage or highlight potential scenarios that were overlooked. This collaborative process allows testers to share insights on various testing techniques and approaches. Through this exchange of knowledge, testers can adapt best practices and elevate the overall testing proficiency of the team. In complex scenarios, a peer review allows team members to brainstorm and collaborate to ensure the test approach is sound and all the relevant aspects are covered. When working with peer review, once you make all the changes and send it to review, you will have an option to select the assignees. Let's open the test case. Here, you can select your assignees who are going to review your case. Your colleagues can suggest further changes to this test case. You can edit the case for the requested changes and then resubmit it to the review again. You can also add a comment stating the requested changes have been made. Once you receive the approval, you can go ahead and merge the changes. Before submitting the test cases for review, thoroughly validate the expected results against the specified requirements. Ensure that the documented outcomes accurately reflect the desired behavior. If there are specific decisions or choices made in designing the test cases, document them. Documenting the reasoning behind them helps reviewers understand the thought process and the context. Foster a collaborative discussion during the review process. Actively seek input from the team members. Encourage open communication and address any concerns or questions raised. In Qase, you have the advantage of inviting unlimited read-only users for free. These users can add comments on your test case reviews to leave their insights. To invite, visit the Workspace section, go to Invites, click on Invite a Members, and fill in all the details and make sure to check this box. Reviewers provide constructive feedback to the test case author. This includes specific suggestions for improvement, clarifications, or corrections. Collaboration between reviewers and test case authors is crucial for refining the quality of the test cases. Take a look at the examples on the screen for what a good feedback looks like. It's also equally important to educate a tester when the opportunity arises. As a manager, you can set reviews to mandatory. This will ensure every test case will go through the review process. Enable this option in your project settings. You can also have much more granular access with custom roles. To create a custom role, go to Workspace, click Roles, create a new role, select all the required permissions for your new role. You have the ability to configure permissions for the role's access to the Reviews section. Additionally, you can toggle the ability to create or update cases for this role. Furthermore, you can choose whether or not to allow the role to participate in the review process. These options provide you with greater control over the role's actions and involvement within the review process. If you want to monitor all the changes and events relating to reviews in your project, visit Audit Logs and look at all the recent events. As you can see, I have logs for review and merge requests. You can also filter them by review requests. In the Type filter, select Review Requests. You will see review requests for all projects inside your workspace. And this goes all the way back to the very first request. You shall have the complete logs. When you access any case within your repository and open the History tab, you'll find a comprehensive log of all changes made to that specific case, starting from its initial creation. This log includes details such as the time and date of each modification. It's important to provide critical feedback promptly and accelerate the review process. To assist with this, we offer the Slack integration. To install it, navigate to the Apps section, locate the app, and click on it. If it's not already installed, you can follow the instructions provided in the Help section. After installation, access the app card and click on the 3 dots menu. Proceed to Settings to configure it according to your projects, then scroll down to locate the Review section. Within this section, select your preferred events and save your choices. Now, let me demonstrate how notifications function with an example. We'll create a case in my repository and observe Slack for the notifications. There you have it. Next, let's send a case for review. I'll make edits to this one and send it for review. Now, check Slack again. Notifications are delivered instantly.